Hello, church family. My name is Stephen Helm, Director of Christian Education at Christ Our Redeemer Lutheran Church, and you're watching Devo with Stevo. I have a question for you. What belongs to God? I bet a lot of things come to mind, but I asked this question to Pastor, and the quick answer he gave me was, everything belongs to God. We asked this same question to the high school youth group during our high school Zoom call, and they quickly came to the same conclusion that yes, everything belongs to God. But everything sure seems like a lot. Where do we begin? Let's begin with the gospel. Let's take a look at Matthew 22, starting at verse 15. The question about paying taxes. Then the Pharisees went and plotted to entrap Jesus in what he said. So they sent their disciples to him, along with the Herodians, saying this, "Teacher, we know that you are sincere and teach the way of God in accordance with the truth, and show difference to no one, for you do not regard people with partiality. So tell us then, what do you think? Is it lawful to pay taxes to the emperor or not?" Jesus was aware of their trickery and said, "Why are you putting me to the test, you hypocrites? Show me a coin used to pay the tax." And they brought him a denarius. So then Jesus said to them, "Whose head is it on this, and whose title?" They answered, "The emperor's." Then Jesus said to them, "Give therefore to the emperor the things that are the emperor's, and to God the things that are God's." When they heard this, they were amazed, and they left him and went away. Give therefore to the emperor the things that are the emperor's, and give to God the things that are God's. Wow, I love Jesus' answer. It speaks volumes, but doesn't give you that exact answer that we were trying to reflect on at the beginning of the devotion when I asked, well, what belongs to God? Everything, I think, indeed, is the right answer. But Jesus doesn't say that. He poses the question. He makes the statement that we are to give to God the things that belong to God. And the people that hear that walk away amazed. I wonder, are you amazed? Are you confused? Are you encouraged? Are you left wondering, well, how do I give everything to God? These are important questions, and I think that's the most important part of the lesson, is that we walk away thinking about what was said, not knowing the answer, but pondering what that answer could be and what that answer means for you and for I. So let's start with this. I love doing devotions where I can give you a practical idea of what you can do with this information. So what things belong to God? Everything. Why don't you start here? Make a list of some of those everythings. The things that are important to you, the things that matter to you, the things that you love, the things that you're concerned about, your hopes, your dreams, your doubts, your fears, all those things that are important to you. Write them down on little pieces of paper, and then get yourself some sort of container, a box, a bag, a cup. Here I have more or less a little kind of cardboard jewelry box. And I wrote on the top something that comes right from our prayer liturgy during the worship service. Into your hands, gracious God. I'm giving these things that belong to God, symbolically putting them in this box as if they were the hands of God represented right here. So when you open up those hands, I have indeed many of the things that I've written down. Some are easy and will probably come to your mind quick. I have Mom and Dad. My parents are certainly very important to me, so I put them in God's hand. Here is, right on top, my sister, who I love dearly, as well as so many other family and friends, especially my wife and my children's names are in here, but also other things, like a prayer for unity, putting that into God's hands, giving that to Him. A prayer for peace, wanting so much for this world to know peace and to be peaceful and understanding. Even you could put, given this time that we're in and the situations and the election that's coming up quickly, what if you don't agree with our leaders? What if you're having trouble with reconciling with the emperor, as the people in our gospel lesson clearly were. Put our leaders' names and titles and positions, put them in God's hands, for they too belong to God. They are in God's care and under God's guidance and direction. So pray for them, all who lead us, all who direct us, that they would know God's will and follow it. And then on the inside of the lid, as I pick one or two or several of these names and concepts up and pray for them, I remember that I'm trusting in God's mercy, that I don't have the power, but God certainly does. And in His hands, all things are well, and that all things are cared for, and nothing is neglected or forgotten, and all things will be in His loving hands forever and always. So try that. Get yourself a box or a bag or any kind of container at all. If you want, you can write into your hands, gracious God, and on the inside is the important things, all the things that matter to you, your hopes, your concerns, your dreams, your loves. Put them in God's hands, and every once in a while, maybe once a week, maybe once every day, you pick this up and you pick out a couple of your sheets of paper and you lift them up before God and you recommit them to God's hands of mercy and love. I hope you'll do that, and I hope, as always, that it will bring you peace, and may God's peace be with you.